Hi, my name is Kevin Hsu, and today I'm going to be talking about bioinformatics. This is the definition of bioinformatics, which is basically biology combined with informatics. And these are the reasons why I chose bioinformatics as my topic for this project. So a little bit about DNA sequencing first. DNA sequencing is finding out the sequence of nucleotides in a piece of DNA, and there are many methods of doing this. The cost of it has also decreased over the years, and it is now much cheaper than it was during the Human Genome Project. The Human Genome Project was a 13-year-long research, and the reason that they picked candidates from different parts of the population is because the purpose of the Human Genome Project is to map out the base sequence of the human race, not a particular group, and they didn't know who were used as a test subject because they got more samples than they actually needed, so they only took a portion of it, and they removed the labels before the choosing actually took place. After the Human Genome Project, scientists found out that the human gene can perform different functions, and this surprised them because originally they thought that us humans, as extremely complex beings, should have tons of genes, but instead the result was that we have as much gene variety as a worm does. So this helps us understand how a gene really is. It's not like a blueprint for a particular building, but more like a pillar that every architectural project can use. And this explains why we don't have a lot more genes than a worm does. A gene can be used for multiple organs, not just one. The Human Genome Project may also help us find out how humans have and will evolve. Having an entire map of our genome also helps us to compare ourselves with other organisms. The Human Genome Project spends a lot of their budget taking care of ethics. As we talked about before, the project spent a lot of effort on not leaking the privacy of the subjects, not knowing where the samples are from themselves, so privacy is not an issue here. What is more arguable is the fact that although we are only taking DNA samples, it's still testing on humans, and how different is that really from things like cloning humans? This is the question we should ask ourselves before doing things like continuing projects like the Human Genome Project, or banning projects like human cloning. Linux is a popular operating system among programmers, and it has a different distribution for different fields of informatics. And the Linux distribution for bioinformatics is called BioLinux, which is kind of lame, considering things like marine informatics is called cool stuff like Poseidon. But anyway, BioLinux is basically Ubuntu, the most well-known Linux distribution, with additional packages and software for bioinformatics. So I will be going through each of these tools. First of all, Artemis is like Google or Yahoo for sequence data, with the additional feature of letting us visualize the sequences. Galaxy is like the bioinformatics equivalent of Google Drive, where you can edit and save your projects online. Sequence alignment is arranging the DNA to find similarities, and the simplicity of the format makes it easy to edit with programming. Phylogenetic analysis is finding out things like whether a panda is closer to a raccoon or a bear, and using similarities in genes to do it. NJPlot is basically making a tree using data from phylogenetic analysis. And the most important thing about Rasmol is that it allows people with less powerful computers to access 3D visualization of structures. You don't actually need to learn programming to do bioinformatics. You can use programs that are already written by others. However, knowing how to program means that you can modify other people's programs to fit your own needs, and being less dependent on others. Different computer languages have different advantages. For example, C programs run faster than programs written by most languages. This is because the syntax is less close to everyday English, and the way you have to program in C is more similar to how a computer actually works inside, which is why it is one of the more powerful languages. C# is better for graphical images, like designing games. Python is absolutely amazing and my personal favorite, and as you can see, it's pretty popular among the community too. Python is close enough to English to understand easily, but in a weird and fascinating way, also similar to how the computer works, so it takes little time to develop. But so is a pretty powerful language compared to others. So I'm going to show you how Python really is simpler by comparing it with C. This is dev C++, but I will be testing C on it. And as you can see, to do a simple hello world command, it takes around 5 lines of code. Let's take a look at Python. So this is the Python editor idle, and we're going to do the same thing here, print hello world. And as you can see, it only takes 1 line in Python. Although it may be tempting to use Python for everything, C actually runs faster, and that makes a huge difference when we need to go through databases with millions of files. However, every project has a different language that is better suited for it, so knowing the advantages and the disadvantages of the language you know can help you program more efficiently, because you will know which language is more suitable for which program. So this is a little joke about computer science majors I found online, and from what I've experienced so far, I think it's pretty accurate. You actually do have to spend a lot of time next to a computer, and you get frustrated by that bug-filled program or that stupid configuration process so much that you want to break something. But that's the hard part about computer science. It isn't just furiously typing in a few lines with inhuman speed and hacking into a pentagon. There is hacking the crap out of everything sometimes, but that doesn't sum up computer science. It requires more patience and perseverance than doing anything else. You need to not give up when you can't solve the problem. The last 5% of the program, the debugging process, takes up as much time as coding the first 95% of your program. It's extremely vexing and testing, but nothing feels better than the feeling of finally finishing your program that works flawlessly. You feel proud of it, your project finally done. Then you start all over again. This is the end of my project, and thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it.